A mother is asked a question: where is your son? Her answer is one of the strangest, proudest sentences ever spoken by a human being. This belly that carried him, she says, is like a cave a tiger once lived in. The tiger does not stay in the cave. You will find my son on the battlefield. That mother was a poet, and she was not alone. These are the women of the Purananuru. (200 BC). Nearly everywhere on earth, a woman's words died at her own doorstep. Athens had already ruled that women could not speak in its public assemblies. Rome would not let them vote, hold office, or argue a case in court. And in ancient Tamil Nadu, in that very same century, women were publishing poetry. Not in secret, not under men's names, openly, and kings memorized their verses. The Purananuru preserves at least 10 women among its 157 poets. And across all of Sangam literature, tradition counts more than 30 women poets. By name, stop and let that number land. Named, credited, anthologized. 22 centuries ago, the women of the Purananuru did not write about jasmine and moonlight. They wrote about war because war kept taking the people they loved most. So meet 3 mothers, 3 poems, and be warned, none of them will leave you. The first, the tiger mother from our opening, tradition names her Kavar Pendu. Neighbors asked where her son was hiding while other men marched away to war. Her reply: search the battlefield. A tiger's cave stands empty because the tiger is hunting. There is no fear in that answer, no apology. A mother's certainty, sharp as any spear. The second mother, the poet Okur Masatiar. Listen carefully to what she witnessed. One woman in her poem had already lost her brothers to the war, then her husband. One son remained to her, one, the last of her blood. She oiled his hair, dressed him, placed a spear in his hand, and sent him to battle. The poets refused to soften this. They wanted you to feel exactly what duty cost her. The third mother, Pon Mudiyar, wrote the poem that soldiers still quote today. To bear him and raise him, my duty, she wrote. To make him noble, his father's. To forge his spear, the blacksmith's duty. To lead him rightly, the king's. And the son's duty? She ends the poem like a blade coming down. To fight, to win, or to fall, facing forward. 4 lines, a whole civilization's soul, written down by a woman 22 centuries ago. And now, the most famous of them all. Say the name with respect. Auvaiyar. Picture an elderly woman with a walking staff, crossing kingdom borders, completely alone. No guards, no caravan. In an age of bandits and constant war, she walked completely free. Because harming Auvaiyar meant every poet in the Tamil land would turn against you. Her verses could crown a king's reputation for eternity, or quietly bury it forever. Kings competed desperately to host her, She praised only what actually deserved praise. Her greatest friendship was with the chieftain, whose name you already know, Auvaiyar. He never treated her as an ornament of his court. He treated her as counsel. Then came a war Auvaiyar could not afford to fight, and he did something unheard of. He sent Auvaiyar, a woman, a poet, an elder, as his ambassador to the enemy. Understand how radical that was. Rome would not send a woman envoy for centuries to come. The enemy king, Thondaiman, prepared to impress her and perhaps to intimidate her. He led her into his armory, rows of gleaming weapons, polished, jeweled, perfect. Look well, he said. These are the weapons that wait for your Auvaiyar. The room held its breath. One wrong word from her, and the war would begin. Auvaiyar looked slowly along the shining rows, and then she smiled. Magnificent, she said. Truly. Your weapons are beautiful, oiled, jeweled, untouched. Our king's weapons, broken, blunt, scarred, they never get the time to rest. They go from battle to battle, she said, and back to the smith again and again. The compliment was a warning wrapped in silk. Your army is untested. Ours never stops winning. Thondaiman understood every word beneath the words, and the war quietly never happened. Read that story once more. A poet stopped a war with one perfect sentence. No treaty, no army, no gold changed hands. Just language, wielded by a fearless old woman. This is why the kings of ancient Tamil Nadu feared poets more than armies. And why the boldest, sharpest voice among all of them belonged to a woman. Auvaiyar's full story fills its own later episode. Today you have met her, you will not forget her. So what do 10 ancient women have to say to the world of 2026? To every woman ever told her voice is too much, Auvaiyar walked this road first. To every mother balancing love and duty, the Purananuru mothers stood exactly there. Their poems were not permitted, not granted. They were taken by talent too large to refuse. History did not offer these women a page, so they carved one themselves. And 22 centuries later, the page is still there, still sharp, still entirely theirs. 10 names in an ancient anthology, holding the door open for every voice that came after. Next episode, the code these poets kept writing about, the ancient Tamil warrior code. Why a wound on the back was considered worse than death itself. And why mothers examined their fallen sons' wounds before they allowed themselves to weep. These stories waited 2,000 years to be told. And they are only just beginning. If the tiger's cave stayed with you, you are not alone. Subscribe to the Antique Chronicles, a new ancient story, every week. Tell me in one word, who will you remember? The tiger mother or Auvaiyar?